You are most welcome to my physics class. Today I will explain you regarding two Kirchhoff's rules for analysis of circuit. A complicated circuit, but a simple circuit you can solve finding out of current, potential difference. So that can be solved by Ohm's law only, that is V equal to IR, or this potential difference V equal to VA minus VB equal to IR. If you know any two of three physical quantities, voltage, current, another is resistance. So by knowing any two of them, you can calculate the remaining physical quantity. So there is a single equation, you can calculate only one unknown physical quantity. But in case of this complicated circuit, where a number of cells, number of resistors are connected in a complicated way, so determination of equivalent resistance and equivalent EMF is very critical job, or application of Ohm's law only is not sufficient to find current in different branches or potential difference between any 2 points of the circuit. Basically, circuit analysis means finding out of current at different branches and the potential difference across each of those elements, or potential difference any 2 points, suppose between points A and D, between points A and C, between points A and E. So how to calculate the current at different branches and the potential difference between any 2 points in this complicated circuit. So Ohm's law is not sufficient. So we need some other laws or rules. Scientist Kirchhoff, in his student life, he devised two rules for analysis of complicated circuit. One example is this. Later I will solve it. With the help of Kirchhoff's two rules or two laws. So before going in details into Kirchhoff's rules, I must explain few terms. See, one is, say, what is junction or node of an electric circuit? Junction or node, see, this is an electrical circuit. This point, and also this one. Here three conductors means BC, that C, connecting wires. Connecting wires are simply copper, aluminum, or maybe silver. So these connecting wires are conductors. So BC, resistance is there, but connecting wires are conductors. So BC, this FC, DC, these are the branches or conductors meet at this point. At least three conductors or more, three or more conductors, if meet at a particular point, three or more conductors, then that point is a junction, or sometimes we call it as a node of electric circuit. So here in this circuit, there are only two nodes, node C, node F. Clear? So that is node or junction. Simply let me write three or more conductors, when meet at a point in an electric circuit, simply that is node or junction. So this term I will use in statement of Kirchhoff's first rule or second rule maybe. So see, then second, that is junction. I have defined already node or junction. Then another term, that is another term which is loop. What is that loop of an electric circuit? Loop of an electric circuit. Loop, that is simply a closed path or closed conducting path, you can say. In a better way, it is a closed conducting path of electric circuit. So simply it is a closed conducting path, in a circuit. See, for example, here in this circuit, how many loops are there? How many closed paths are there? This A, B, C, F, A. So it is a closed loop or closed path. Another is C, D, E, F, C. Third one is this one. Third one, A, B, C, D, E, F, A. So there are three loops, probably three loops in this circuit. This one, and the overall there is a loop. So three closed paths. So just write down that A, B, C, F, A, or C, D, E, F, C, or finally, etc. So these are the loops or closed conducting path of an electric circuit. So you know now you have some idea what is node or junction loop of an electric circuit. Then we proceed. Then we now proceed for first rule. So let me clean it. See, Kirchhoff's first law or first rule. So first law, sometimes you can say this is junction rule. Huh? Say junction rule. You can say this is junction rule or Kirchhoff's current law. Kirchhoff's current law. KCL. You can say this is KCL. Kirchhoff's current law, junction rule, Kirchhoff's first rule, or sometimes we call it as first law. So now you know this node C and A, they are node or junction of an electric circuit. So suppose this is a node. In general, I consider a node O, suppose point O, current entering into this node from branches, suppose I1, this is I2, this is I3, current leaving the junction, that is I3, sorry, I4, I5C. So O is a node or junction of the electric circuit. So what is Kirchhoff's first rule? Very simple law, very simple law. The algebraic sum, algebraic means few terms are positive, few terms are negative. So that is algebraic sum. Simple sum means all terms should be positive or negative. So algebraic sum of the currents meet at a junction is 0. So the algebraic sum of the currents meet at a junction of an electric circuit is 0. See, this law, first rule, it's based on the principle of conservation of charge. How? Principle of conservation of charge. See, charge never accumulate at this point. So amount of charge entering into this point per unit time must be equal to the amount of charge leaving this point per unit time. The amount of charge per unit time, that is simply we call current. So that is why the total current entering into the junction, if these are positive, suppose I1, I2, I3, so that is charge per unit time basically, or currents entering into this junction per unit time is equal these two currents I4 and I5. That means the amount of charge leaving the junction per unit time through these two paths, I4 and I5, that is the current. So that I4, I5 you may consider as negative. So there is no hard and fast rule whether incoming current are positive or outgoing current are negative. That is your choice. You may reverse the direction. So here, so this first rule is based on the principle of conservation of charge. Principle of conservation of charge. Conservation of charge. That means charge never accumulate at a node or junction of an electrical circuit. Amount of charge entering into the junction at a particular time interval must be equal to the amount of charge leaving from that node or junction. So mathematically, how we can express, say, I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus, say, I4 minus I5 equal to 0. So this is algebraic sum, or simply summation of I equal to 0. So this is very simple law. Here in this circuit, suppose current is entering, say, I1. There is no fixed rule. It may be entering or it may leave that junction. So I1, say, suppose this is coming out or maybe entering. So this is, say, I2. So this is suppose leaving I3. So in this branch, the current is I1. Enter through this branch, current is I1. Here is I2. Here it is I3. This choice of direction of current, it's completely your own choice. You can put the direction in any way, either entering or leaving. So after solution, if current value of currents are positive, suppose, then your assigned direction is correct. If current value is negative, then you just reverse the assigned direction and you will get the actual direction of the current. So some currents are entering, some currents are leaving. Two currents are entering, one is leaving. Suppose this I3 may enter, I2 may leave, I1 may leave. So that you will come to know, that is after solution of the problem, whether the values of current are positive or negative. So first rule is over. First rule is over. So this assignment of current at different branches is that is the task for this rule basically. So let me clean it. Kirchhoff's second rule. Oh, sorry. See Kirchhoff's second law or second rule. Kirchhoff's second rule, or we call sometimes that is loop rule. Loop rule, simply loop rule. The rule is applied for a closed loop, or KVL. KVL means that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So this is sometimes somewhat it's complicated, but not so complicated. See, this is the closed conducting loop. This one is closed conducting loop. So around this closed conducting loop or conducting path, the algebraic sum of the potential differences of all elements means this is cell, this is resistive element. So these are the electric circuit elements, we call circuit elements. So potential differences around the closed loop, algebraic sum of the potential differences around this closed loop must be zero. Why it is zero? Current is flowing through this closed path. So current means charged particles or simply electrons are flowing through this closed path in opposite direction of the current also. So that charged particle can flow only due to the presence of electric field. Electric field only helps to flow the charged particles, or here these electrons, or within cell there may be some ions. Virtually now let us consider that responsible for, sorry. So electric field is responsible responsible for flow of charged particles. Flow of charged particles. It's a concept. Do you know that electric field is conservative in nature? Of course, the electric field is conservative in nature. That you know it. Suppose you have covered electrostatics. So this class is basically based on Kirchhoff's law. So if you have some idea about electrostatics, then this electric field is conservative in nature. So there is a phone. So electric field is conservative in nature. That means change in potential, change in net potential around the closed loop must be zero. So change in the net potential, around the closed loop is zero. So the statement for Kirchhoff's second rule, that the algebraic sum of the potential differences around the closed loop is zero, or simply mathematically the summation of V equal to zero. Summation of V equal to zero. So let me, you may note down this, you may write down this. Let me wait for a few moments. Okay, let me clean the board. So how can you apply? Some rules are there. So see, rules. You must remember some rules. See, there is a resistance in the circuit. Current is flowing this way. So this is higher potential point. This one is lower potential point. H for higher potential, low for L for lower potential point. So if you proceed this way, this way means from higher to lower potential in the loop, from higher to lower potential in this loop, suppose. So this IR term is negative. IR term is negative because see, you are moving from higher to lower potential point. So change in potential, suppose delta V, change in potential delta V is how much? VL minus VH. So that potential of this final point to, and the difference of the potential of this final point and this initial point, VL minus VH. So this is minus VH minus VL, or simply minus IR as per Ohm's law. As per Ohm's law, you know that VH minus VL equal to IR. So that is minus IR. So when you proceed from this higher potential to lower potential, this change in potential or this IR term is negative. The inverse is also true. What is that? Suppose this one is higher potential point, this is lower potential point. Current remains in the same direction, but you are proceeding this way. You are proceeding this way. So here IR term is positive. How? The delta V equal to VH minus VL. So that is simply IR as per Ohm's law. So VH minus VL, you know, this is higher potential point. So this term is positive plus IR. There are another two rules, that is for this electric cell. When we proceed from negative to positive terminal or positive to negative terminal of a cell, whether EMF term, that E, it's whether positive or negative. So just note down this, please note down this, then I will explain other two rules. Okay, let me clean it. See, other two rules for this EMF of the cell. Suppose this is cell. This is at higher potential point H. This is lower potential point L. This is positive terminal at higher potential compared to the negative terminal of the cell. So when you proceed this way from positive terminal to negative terminal, it's the same thing. Delta V, change in voltage or potential difference. What is that? VL minus VH, or you take a minus sign outside VL. So this is simply minus E for EMF. E for this is EMF, electromotive force, simply EMF. If you proceed in opposite way from this lower to higher potential point, so change in potential difference delta V, of course, VH minus VL. Final, this VH is the potential of this final point, and this is the initial point. So VH minus VL, or simply this is plus E. Now you have got 4 rules, 2 for resistance and another 2 for electric cells. So please note down it. So let us clean it. Now you have enough knowledge to solve this circuit, but how to solve? First, see, we have already assigned the currents in different branches, that is I1, I2, I3. So first, from first law, from first rule, for points, or that is points or node or junction C and F, or any one point. So for point, say point C, for point C, these are the currents entering. So these are the currents entering, I1 and I2. So consider those are positive, I1 plus I2, then minus I3, that is leaving that junction, so equal to 0. So you have got one equation. There are three unknown variables, I1, I2 and I3. So already we have got one equation, this number 1, that is equation 1. So we require further 2 equations. Total there will be 3 equations, so you can calculate 3 unknown variables. So suppose this loop 1, you are proceeding this way. Loop 1, you are proceeding this way. Say this is loop 2, you are proceeding this way. You may proceed either clockwise or anti-clockwise, that is your own choice. There is no fixed rule how to proceed, clockwise or anti-clockwise. You may start from any point, not only from point A. You may start from point B, from point C. So you may start from any point. You may proceed either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So that is your own choice. There is no restriction. See, suppose for closed loop, for loop A, B, C, F, A. So I have written A, B, C, F, A. So you must proceed also in this way. You first see, you proceed from A to B. So there is a cell, and you are proceeding from this negative to positive terminal. This lower to higher potential point. So you are proceeding from a lower to higher potential point. So this positive, this 2-volt EMF, this is positive. So simply write +2, or don't write plus, simply write 2, similar thing. So this already I have written it. Now from B to C. From B to C, you are moving in the direction of current, or again, this is higher potential point, this is lower. So higher to lower movement, that is negative term, that -4I1, because you are moving in the direction of decreasing potential. B is at higher potential, C is at lower potential. So you are moving in the direction of decreasing potential. So that is why this is -4I1. Now, in case of CF, when you proceed from C to F, so lower to higher again, like this, lower to higher. So it is also lower to higher potential movement. So it will be +4, that is +4. Now F to A. So we have to complete the closed path, that F to A, again in the direction of current. So this is -2, this I1, 2I1 equal to 0. So just rearrange this for your convenience. For 4I1 minus 2I1 equal to -6, or simply 2I1 plus, oh, sorry. What is mistake is there? No mistake. This is I1, this is I1, no mistake. So it is -6I1 equal to -6, or simply you have got one value, 1 ampere. So I have got the value, that is I1 is 1 ampere, and it is positive. So the direction of current flow from B to C only, because that I1 is positive 1 ampere. So this 1 ampere is positive. So your assigned direction was correct. So for loop C D E F C. C D E F C. So proceed from C to D in the direction of current. So that is -2 into I3. 2 into I3. So there is a cell of 6 volt. This is higher to lower movement, that is -6. Higher to lower, so -6. Here it is 4. In the direction of current, you are proceeding in the direction of current, so that is -4I3. Again from F to C. So this is higher. This F point is at higher potential, so higher to lower movement. Higher to lower, there is minus. Lower to higher movement, lower to higher potential movement, that is plus. Higher to lower, minus. So higher to lower, that is -4 equal to 0. So rearrange this. What is this? 6I3 equal to 10. So I3 equal to minus 10 by 6. 10/6 ampere. It's correct, na? Take. So this is negative. This I3 is negative. That means actual direction of current is from D to C. So actual direction of current from D to C, not from C to D. So now you have got the exact direction of the current I3 from D to C, and that is B to C. So what is about I2? You have got this equation, first equation 1. So calculate I2 from this equation. So I2 equal to I3 minus I1, or I3 minus 10/6 minus, this is 1 ampere, or minus, take it out, 10 plus 6/6, so minus 16/6, or this minus 8/3 ampere. So there is also I2 is also minus. That means that I2 is from C to F, direction of direction of I2 from C to F. This one from D to C, and this one. So this is the complete analysis of a circuit. Suppose let us say we need to calculate the potential difference between A and D. How to calculate the potential difference between the points A and B? See, potential difference between A and D. How to start it? So this is the point A. So potential at that point, say VA. So just write down VA. Now you can proceed from A to D through any path, this way, or through A, F, C, D, or through A, F, E, D. You can proceed through any path because potential difference is independent on the path. In case of electrostatic field, as electrostatic field is conservative. So for a conservative field, potential difference between any two points is independent on the path. So you can proceed in any way. Suppose let us proceed. We proceed across the path, A B C D. Sorry. It's A B C D. A B C D. So across the path A B C D, let the potential of point A be VA. Then you were proceeding from this lower to higher potential point. So potential at point B is greater. Potential at point B is greater by how much? This 2 volt. So you must write down +2. Then you are moving from B to C. Potential at point C is less than the potential at point B, because current flows from higher to lower potential. So you must write minus, because this 4 into I1. It was 1 ampere only. It was 1 ampere I1. So 4I1, 4 into 1, then again C to D. So that is, again you are moving in the direction of decreasing potential or this higher to lower potential point. So minus 2 into I3. That I3 is minus 10 by 6. That I3 is minus 10 by 6. So 10 by 6 equal to VD. Equal to VD. So VA minus VD equal to how much? Say this is 4 minus 4, 2 minus 2 minus 2. This is plus or minus. This is minus plus to minus 10 to third 3. So 10 by 3. 6 minus 10 by 3, or this is simply minus 4/3. So VA minus VD is 4 volt, or VD minus VA you can say, but you must write down VA minus VD as potential difference between A and D. A and D means so VA minus VD. So this is the end of my session. Thank you.